Hi, I'm Sheila, and on this trip I'm here with my green wing macaw Fawkes, who is 5 years old now. I have Alex, the Verde macaw. She is 3.5, and I have Pickles the Blue Throat, who just turned 2. On this trip, we have an Airbnb that I've started calling the single ladies house because it is myself and Claude and Cindy, and we're the singletons on this trip. So it worked out great that we can share an Airbnb, and it helps make these trips affordable for all of us. So, man, there's so many good birds. It's hard to pick like which one is my favorite. I would say like my favorite single flyer or single bird on this trip would be Yolo, because he is just so communicative and talkative when he's in the air, like just constant blah and ah, and it's just hilarious. His commentary during flights is just absolutely hilarious.
Whoa, little crisscross. Oh, look at that.
So would you say birds stick after their owners?
Yeah. No comment. My favorite bird of my own on this trip has definitely been Fawkes. The last 2 or 3 trips, I've really started to put so much work into building confidence for her and just letting her know that it's okay. Like she, speaking of birds that take after their owner, I'm a tad bit of a perfectionist. And so unfortunately I somehow instilled that in Fawkes. And so she really, if she doesn't think that she's just going to nail it, she doesn't try. And so on this trip in particular, all of that work that I've been putting in for since last time we were here 2 years ago, to get her to build that confidence and trust and everything back. Yesterday, I really think it showed that all of that was finally worth it, because she was just so amazing yesterday. It's so rewarding to have a bird, because people on these trips, they see all of these birds flying around, and I think too often people focus on, wow, that bird is really awesome, and don't necessarily stop and look at what it has taken to get to that. Just to have a bird that's finally just looks like she's having fun, and she's taking these really amazing flights and doesn't look like she's struggling, and she's coming back. And 4 years it's taken to get to that place, and it's just it makes me so happy to have that for her.
Hey, Charlie! Holy cow!
Okay. Macaw was in my face.
Charlie, over here. Ember! Ember! Here. Charlie!
Call him?
Charlie!
There we go.
Charlie, right here.
Oh!
Charlie!
There we go. Nice. That was great.
Whew, you're out of breath.
Is that Fawkes?
Yeah, it's fun.
So that was a downwind flight.
Okay.
So if you want to set him down, just stay on this side. So if he's trying to fly, he can get to you.
Okay. Keep coming. There you go. Come on, Fawkes. Fawkes.
Oh, wow!
She was like, yay. So good. Look
at you.
That was so good.
Oh my God.
That was great.
That was awesome. It only took 4 years. And she had a shower this morning, so she's not even entirely dry.
Oh, maybe that's the trick. Oh, she's great.
I ended up trading in my Jeep this past summer. As much as I love my Jeep and I love the off-roading and all of that, it just turned out that once I was looking into what I need for the long term for these trips, as far as something that I can sleep in, something to keep the birds in, the Jeep just wasn't going to cut it, because it, you know, unfortunately, as fun as it is for off-road, it is not made for towing. So joined the Toyota crew, have a Tundra now, and as much as I miss the Jeep, I really love my truck. I really love it. The last BirdTricks trip that I was on was the big long trip in April, and I was fortunate enough to be able to spend the whole month there flying the birds every day. And by the end of that trip, I had Alex in beast mode. I mean, that bird was, she was a rock star. It was so much fun to be able to see a bird that's like, yeah, I'm in shape and I got this, and just this trip has been great because I didn't start with that reconditioning section. This location, I have to say, I wasn't super excited to come back to. And it was really am I going to come here or go on that trip or not? All the way up until like 3 weeks ago. Then I realized I'd put it off too long, that I was kind of committed by not making a decision. And so my memory of the dune from 2 years ago was that it was absolute hell and that I would never do it again. And it's funny because I got here in the dune, like, I don't know what the difference is, but it's not the same. Like, people weren't struggling to get up there. Nobody rolled down it, unfortunately. So I really, I was like, I'm not going to the dune. I'm just going to fly at the Airbnb. But I loved going to the dune this trip. Like, it really is great. The winds are fun, and the birds can, you know, do their bird thing. Where I fly at home, I don't have any of the cool hills and cliffs and all of the stuff that the birds like to play on. And so, the rest of this is very close to what my birds are used to. And the great thing about being in the group and having all of the other birds to fly with is my birds don't really tend to need those things to play on, because they can go and flock with their buddies, and that's the reinforcement for them. And so, this location, I love that it's in the desert. I just feel more grounded in the desert. And so I love the wide open spaces. People aren't breathing down your neck. And the sky is amazing. We saw a UFO. This location is just where I feel, or this type of location is just where I feel at home. One of my things to nerd out with on the GPS is going over the data. At the end of the day, it's meaningless because we can see what our birds are doing, but it also is really cool to be able to go and look at them and like, oh my gosh, that flight was an 11-minute long flight, which I think that is the record length of a flight for Alex, is around 11 minutes. But like, there's no way I would have ever thought that my bird would have that capability. So it's really cool just to be able to track that. And it makes it to where some days you can see like, oh, you know, like today was only a 5-mile day. There must have been tired, or maybe she didn't sleep well, or things like that. So that's nice. The new flyer that I met on this trip is Jean Ling. She brought her hyacinth Steven squawking. I love it. And that's been so cool because hyacinths are just such cool birds. A couple days into the trip, and they bought pizza and wine for the entire group of like 30 people. It's so fun seeing those new flyers, and you know, it's nice to see somebody who's just at the start of their journey and knowing that there's so much more to come, and it's fun seeing that. I think probably my most inspiring flyer that's on this trip and is on literally every trip has got to be Lori. As much as I have struggled, I have Alex, who I'm like, okay, so Fawkes is Fawkes, Pickles is Pickles. They're my struggle, but Alex is, you know, she's just been a freaking amazing flyer from day one. And so I watch Lori with her birds, and she's here every trip. She works so hard with every one of those birds. I love her, and I think she's a really good example of how we all should strive to be. Somewhat along those same lines is Eleanor. You know, the first trip that I met Eleanor on, she was this 14-year-old little kid. And I was like, what? Okay, I guess they let kids in here now. And she worked so hard with Sam. She's almost 18 now, so I guess that's been a really long time. And she has Althea, who is just incredible. And her knowledge and her maturity, just like, I know that can't be easy to have come in around all of these really weird adults that are like, what? And it's really cool. I was standing there talking to her last night, and she's like, yeah, people see me as a kid. I'm like, after that first initial, how old are you? You know, I never really saw her as a kid because she is on a more mature level, but now I was just like, who's treating you like a kid? Like, she's just one of us.
Look at that landing gear. Oh! Sheila, did you bring a bird on this trip to fly?
Apparently
or?
not. I'm just here for the laughs.
Claude, I feel like you've been getting a lot of new birds lately.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's kind of an addiction.